Hello, everyone. I all hope you had a very, very wonderful day and a very, very, very great day. Sorry that I'm actually exactly shooting this late because I was exactly writing more and new characters that I'm exactly adding from my episodes and for the comics that I'm exactly adding for the superheroes and supervillains as well, guys, and monsters and for National Hunters. So I was exactly doing that before exactly filming this. As you know, quietly, guys, today is just the last day of me exactly filming this week, but you'll see me next week Monday. You'll see me next week Monday. So I'm exactly doing this for the last day, meaning today's last Friday. So you'll see me on this Friday, the last Friday. But next week Monday, you'll see me because I'll be available on next week Monday and will exactly continue speaking with the next episodes and with more episodes that are coming. And I all hope you have a wonderful and a blessed weekend and a very, very, very exciting, blessed weekend. And I all hope you'll stay warm and you'll stay happy and safe and very, very safe and warm because it's actually cold and more colder than it's ever been. So today's episode, we're here to talk about Red Bolt. Red Bolt is a supervillain and also an assassin. He is a former member of an ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Order of the Five. Known as the Order of the Five. Known as the Order of the Five, guys. Excuse me for a little while. Excuse me for a minute. So as I was saying, Red Bolt is actually a supervillain and also an assassin. He's a former member of an ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Order of the Five that decides the fate of humanity and then wants to conquer and rule worlds and planets throughout the sacred universe and throughout the sacred world. So let's get into it. In the early years, Red Bolt was quietly trained. Red Bolt was quietly trained by Shadow Master. He was quietly trained by Shadow Master within the early years in order how to fight in hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship, tactician, marksmanship, and tactician, and also in controlling his boltish lightning, boltish powers, his dark boltish lightning powers, in order to use them against his opponents as well as his adversary. White Bolt became more very much quietly ambitious and became more quietly very much ambitious and more hungry for battle and is determined to exactly make a name for himself within the sacred world and within the known universe by any and all means necessary. Red Bolt was exactly guided by Shadow Master, trained by Shadow Master when the Noten's Empire when the Notan Empire of Assassins was still under the leadership of the Order of the Five, and it still is under the leadership of the Order of the Five, but now it's still under the current leadership Michael Max Noten and the other supervillain and assassin who Golden Knight, who's also Golden Knight, who I previously told you about, is still also he's also a member of an ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Order of the Five, and he's a leader of the Noten Empire, Knight of Supervillain, as well as an assassin. Red Bolt saw an opportunity to becoming the new member of the Order of the Five, and he took it. He extremely accepted the invitation, and he became the high-ranking next member of the Order of the Five within the early years. He reconvened with the members of the Order of the Five at the Order of the Five at the Order at the at he reconvened with the members of the Order of the Five at an ancient beautiful temple, an ancient restored beautiful temple that is quietly on an abandoned sacred base that is quietly filled with dark crystals of dark magic and dark abilities. So that is filled with quietly with dark crystals and dark magical abilities. Red Bolt reconvened with the members of the Order of the Five to discuss the next steps of the operation. Darklight exactly proposed that they take an alternative action with the Little Magic being in power in order to strip him of his power and remove him effectively of his power. The Goddess of Life stated that the Little Magic is too powerful in order for them to exactly fight up against him. It's best that they exactly remain low and remain patient in order for them to exactly move out their next plan. But Red Bolt proposed a different alternative to the problem. He proposed that the Little Magic has to be assassinated and has to be killed effective immediately. He came up with a strategy to wipe out the immortal enemy, to wipe out the immortal competitor out of this long-term game in order for the Order of the Five to seize control of the Shadow Empire. This exactly, guys, happened many centuries ago. It took place many centuries ago that I'm exactly telling you in his early life with the original Little Magic, not with the original Little Magic. So Red Bull proposed an alternative in order to exterminate in order to exterminate and kill to kill the little magic in his throne room. The goddess of life stated that that tactic would create more attention and would draw more attention to them, and also to their organization and also to their activities. It would be quite too drastic and too deadly for the operation to be blown out. Red Bolt Red Bolt said that he will take the fall and he will take the risk for himself, and he'll do it for him. He'll do the assassination for himself, but he won't mention any names or any members of the Order of the Five or exactly rat them out. He'll exactly say that it was all his plan and all his idea. Darklight said that he appreciates Red Bolt's loyalty to the cause, and his allegiance to the cause, and sacrifice himself for the greater good, saying that it's for the best that it has to exactly happen. Red Bolt exactly entered the throne room. Red Bolt exactly entered the throne room of the Shadow Empire Central Headquarters, of the Shadow Empire Central Command Headquarters, where the Lolo Magic was exactly quietly sitting. He had a knife. He had a long knife, preparing to stab the Lolo Magic. He already killed two Shadow Empire warlords and commanders and the other guards. As was about to exactly assassinate the Lolo Magic, as he's seen the Lolo Magic sitting in the throne, he already went up to the throne and prepared to assassinate him. But what he didn't realize that the Lolo Magic was already quietly aware of his assassination, and he already took measures and steps in order to protect himself. Red Bolt rushed into the throne room and tried to kill the Lolo Magic with his weaponry blade, which was able to exactly use before exactly attacking him or striking him. When he exactly made the strike at the Lord of Magic's throne room, and he purposely stabbed him at the near heart. But while he stabbed him at the heart, the little magic began to exactly disappear, as if it was like a hologram or magical clone or a copy of himself. It began exactly to disappear, and then all the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders came rushing in with their weapons and guns and blades in order to command this assassin to stand down. Red Bolt exactly dropped his dagger and his blade, and the real Lolo Magic revealed himself amongst his soldiers and his troops, stating that tactic was quietly foolish and very quietly stupid. He said that your skills could be very much could be greatly in value to my cause and to my organization, stating that it could exactly recruit you to my organization in order for you to become my operative in my mission in conquering worlds and planets across the known universe, and as well throughout the sacred world and throughout the sacred universe. You could become my next powerful associate in my mission and in my quest to harvesting the secrets of immortality and death. But Red Bolt exactly said that proposal would be quietly too good, to be proven to be true. He stated that no, he exactly refused the proposal. He said exactly it's too good to be true. He said that he would love to join you, but he says that he has other plans of his own that needs to be released and to be well known to the known universe and to the rest of sacred existence. The Lord Magic told his forces to stand down and for them to drop their guns and their weapons and their blades, which they exactly did. He told Red Bolt that if he ever tried something like this again, he won't show any mercy. He won't show any mercy. He won't show no mercy ever again, and especially not to him. Red Bolt said that he exactly quietly appreciate that, and he said that he won't exactly do it again. As Red Bolt left the throne room, one of the Shadow Empire warlord and commanders stared at him, stating that what he did was quietly a remarkable attack and an inspirational attack, and he was quietly pleased to exactly see it take place. Looking at him, he was quietly pleased and remarkably pleased. Red Bolt left with a smile on his face, stating that he exactly won the Lord Magic's respect and as well as trust by giving him such a high, powerful proposition in order for him to join him in his quest and his conquest to conquering worlds and planets and in destroying them, in knocking the secrets of immortality. Red Bolt reconvened with the other Shadow Empire warlord who stared at him and told him exactly why did he give him the stare. He stated that there was no one in our entire empire who could have exactly pulled off that tactic that you managed to exactly pull off. He said it was a bravery tactic and it was a wise, skillful tactic. He said that from now on I'll become your follower and I'll become your agent and your ally. He asked the Shadow Empire warlord and commander that did the Lolo Magic dispatch you? Did he quietly send you here? He said that yes, he quietly exactly sent me here, and he quietly admires you, and he quietly has great respect over you, Red Bolt. He quietly literally sees you and quietly respects you. He said he's sending me here to aid you and assist you with your goals and with your plans. And Red Bolt was quietly pleased and very quietly satisfied. Red Bolt began his mission and his quest. his goal is now simple, very quietly, shortly, simple now. The goal is to gather information, gather assassins, gathering members, extending invitations to powerful criminals, which is exactly what he did, and with the purpose of controlling humankind, with the purpose and the goal of controlling humankind and the planet Earth for his own selfish, for his own sinister plans, and the known universe, and the sacred world, and the sacred universe. White Ball began those goals and he began those mission. He started a dispatch. He started sending. He started sending invitations to powerful criminals known as the Dark Druids, the Dark Faithful, the Dark Witches, Notin Knight, Notin Knight, Notin Knight, as well as Notin Knight, Tyler, James, who are the best deadly assassins in the entire sacred world and in the entire sacred universe, who are well known for their skills in assassination in an assassination attempt, who are former members of the Notin Knight. They became members of another powerful dark ancient secret society known as the Order of Dark, known as the Dark Order, with the Dark Order's goals capable of controlling the world, humanity, the sacred world, and the sacred universe, and manipulating the war to their advantage. Which exactly that was the goal of it exactly. Red Bolt met with the members of his organization and as well as his secret society, and he welcomed them to his organization as well to his outpost, stating that this outpost hasn't been quite been used by the Shadow Empire for many, many centuries. It'll be our outpost for us to exactly maintain our bases of operation, which will exactly use for us to operating or planning our next attack. Tyler questioned exactly how will this Dark Order move its operations and bases when we have the first base of operation, but we don't have any other bases of operation. He said that after he left the Order of the Five, he managed to gather intelligence of other rogue bases and other rogue Shadow Empire bases and abandoned district bases for them to exactly operate from under the shadows of the Shadow Empire and under the shadows of the Sacred War in order for them to exactly fulfill their plans and as well as the objective. James was quietly pleased and remarkably pleased. The Notin Knight was also quietly pleased and remarkably pleased, stating that will it just be the three of them? Will it just be the four of them, as he stated? He said that there are more members who are coming in sooner or rather than later, but for now it'll just be us. But I'll exactly keep on extending invitations to rogue criminals and to powerful criminals who could exactly aid me in my goal. Tyler asked Red Bolt exactly what is exactly your goal. He says he wants to control humankind and the rest of planet Earth and the rest of the known universe and the rest of the sacred world and of the sacred universe, and controlling the sacred galactic war that's been waging on for many, many centuries. Even now, he still wants to control it, and he wants to control and manipulate events to his advantage to further his ultimate goal and his ultimate plans. James exactly asked him exactly what are your ultimate goals? To help mankind to become the better species and to become the worthy species of the cosmos, and to make sure that they are seen as the worthy species of the cosmos in order to help them to becoming the top primeval species in the entire known universe, and to become the most primeval species, the primeval race in the entire known universe as well as the sacred universe, in order to make sure that humanity becomes the ultimate species and the ultimate formidable race in the known galaxy and in the sacred universe. That is exactly my goal, to make sure that humanity is the ultimate predator. Mankind becomes the ultimate predators of the galaxy and of the sacred world and of the sacred universe. James was quietly astonished with this goal and with these plans. They exactly asked Red Bolt, when do they start? Red Bolt told them that they're starting now, effectively, immediately, meaning now, as of now. They began exactly with the goal. They started with the goal. For a few years, with the Shadow Empire conquering many worlds and many planets, fighting against the universal heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition, Red Bolt and his ancient secret society of supervillains remained under the shadows and operated under the shadows. Red Bolt exactly appeared from the shadows. Red Bolt exactly appeared from the shadows within the office of Professor War within the office of Professor War in the Astro Prison on the 1st of January. Professor was quietly spoke with the appearance of Red Bolt, stating that what exactly is he doing behind him. Red Bolt exactly told him that he has got nothing else to worry about. Red Bolt only asked that he release some of the special inmates and criminals that will exactly help him to further his goal and his plans. Professor War asked exactly Red Bolt, what exactly are you planning? Something quietly big and something quietly massive. He said that the Astro Prison is still under your control and that the Universal Heroes haven't even tried to remove you from power, meaning that they're quietly aware of your activities, meaning they are quietly aware of your activities and your place and your place and your place to the rest, place to the rest of the sacred universe. Meaning that they know that you are a member of another ancient secret society known as the Order, known as the Founders. You are helping the Dark King and Dark Grey and the other sinister criminals with their goals. Are you? And you are a member of that ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Founders. Professor Wall quietly said yes, he is a member of the founders and he's helping them with their goals and with their mission. And Red Bolt exactly asked if you could exactly help me with my mission. I will exactly pay you back in double fold. I will exactly triple and pay you back in double fold. Professor Wall stated to Red Bolt that this has got nothing to do with money or anything. This has got something to do with power and control and with everything else that lies within it. And Red Bolt assured Professor Wall that he could give him power and control of the Astral Prison and will remain under your control forever, as in total control would exactly be put under your control. Only if you help me release these inmates and these criminals, then your operation will still be smooth. Professor Wu exactly agreed, and he slightly agreed that in return, what did he exactly get? He said that you'll get more power and more total control over the Astral Prison, which you already have, and you'll have more guards and more soldiers at the Astral Prison to protect you and to offer you security. That I can exactly supply you is exactly what Red Bolt exactly said. And Professor Wu shook a hand with Red Bolt and stated down he is now his ally to the Dark Order. Professor was stated that I am now your ally to the Dark Order. I'll help you with your goals and with your missions. You can consider me an ally. And Red Bolt exactly said the same thing to him, that he is also an ally to the founders and to Professor's goals and missions, and in due time we'll need each other, stated. And he quietly exactly shook hands and they were exactly remarked on their partnership, which was exactly that. Within that year, the news of the normal magic demise flew across the rest of sacred existence and across the sacred world and across the sacred universe, the golden universe, the star universe, Mixel, robotics, over universe, sacred universe. It flew across the rest of the sacred universe, and it created a power vacuum unlike any other we've ever seen. The Shadow Empire warlords started fighting for control and power, all over the Shadow Empire throne. They started fighting against intergalactic coalition, frequently clashing with the universal heroes and with the other ancient secret societies of supervillains such as the Order of the Five, Order of the Seven, Order of the Six, the Galactic, the Sacred Circle, the Founders, and now the Dark Order, now the Unholy Alliance itself now as well. Excuse me, started clashing with those ancient secret societies that I've exactly just mentioned to you. With this raid, one Shadow Empire warlord came to Red Bolt's sacred base within the 15th of February, stated that now some of the other Shadow Empire warlords are now pledging their allegiance and their loyalty to you. Red Bolt stated that it's time for his plans to come to fruition. Tell the Shadow Empire to continue thrusting itself into chaos, and tell the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders to continue fighting each other and to killing each other at the cost of destroying themselves. And let the other Shadow Empire warlords risk fighting for the throne and everything, because in that way, by doing so, it'll help me further my plan quicker, or further my plans even quicker and sooner rather than faster. The other Shadow Empire warlord exactly obliged, said yes, it will exactly happen the way you planned it and will exactly continue to do so. Red Bolt began to convene with the members of the Dark Order, Tyler, James, and the No 10 Knight, saying that it's just only the three of them, it's just only the four of them within the organization, and saying that they haven't had any like recruiting other criminals and other members to the organization or to the secret society. Red Bolt told Tyler and James that we don't know exactly what to worry about. The invitations have been strictly sent out. More members will exactly join in sooner or later. We just have to have time and as well as patience. We need to focus with the plan now. The Shadow Empire is quietly in chaos and in disarray. It's time for me to take the Shadow Empire throne and use the Shadow Empire's throne into my advantage in order to conquer many worlds and many more planets in order to control humanity and manipulating the war. James said, I have a plan in order to assassinate the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches. Red Bolt stated that assassinating the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches will be ineffective. They're on our side. We need them as much as they need us. They need each other. They are members of the organization, and we still need them. James stated that they are powerful dark magic users who can't exactly be trusted with their powers and with their abilities. They experiment on shadow energy and the dark entities. He said that he quietly doesn't exactly like the abilities or their power. Red Bolt stated that he exactly appreciates their powers and their ability because they exactly help further my plans and my goals. James said that quietly it's fine and won't exactly work with them and assist with them. But James added that he wants to assassinate Witchcaster and move her out of the way. White Ball stated that Witchcaster posed too much of a threat to his interests and as well to his goals. He stated that he needs to wipe her out. He told James to exactly get his two assassins to wipe out the witch and move her out of the way. James exactly obliged and was exactly happy with that, and he began to comply that the witch will be exactly taken out and will be wiped out soon as possible. The two assassins that James dispatched on Witchcaster's other base failed with the mission because Witchcaster was quietly waiting for them, and she quietly knew that she will be assassinated. She disappeared out of nothing. She teleported out of the way, and she managed to kill two of the assassins, and the third one she managed to use as a host body in order to speak with Red Bolt and his members, stating that Witchcaster is too powerful and she knows and she sees everything. You can't exactly kill me. If you be killing me, you'll be making an enemy out of me exactly. Red Bolt stated that you're too much of a threat to his plan and to his goal. Witchcaster stated that I can exactly offer you more destructive technology and power beyond anything else I've ever imagined, only if you make me your ally or your associate. James exactly agreed and said, yes, we accept you as our associate. So did Talon, so did the Note tonight. Red Bolt said, yes, you're officially our associate. Keep on supplying us with more destructive technology, and with more destructive and dark technology as per our agreement. And she successfully agreed. After that, she released the host body and went and teleported back straightly to her own host body. After the host body was quietly killed with the assassin, Red Bolt silently killed the assassin with his blade for his failure. But he was quietly pleased and very quietly happy that now he managed to gain another associate to his cause. Red Bolt began furthering his own plans and his own ambition as he began entering the Shadow Empire Central headquarters, entering the Shadow Empire Central command headquarters of the throne room where the Lord of Magic used to sit. The other Shadow Empire warlord asked him exactly what is Red Bolt doing here, said that this place is quietly off site and off limits to anyone else. Red Bolt stated that the throne is now mine for the taking, and it shall remain mine. The other Shadow Empire warlord said that he'll take him out and he'll remove him out of the way. Red Bolt exactly quickly used his super speed and his advanced super strength in order to win the battle against the Shadow Empire warlord, and both of them were quietly clashing and fighting each other as Red Bolt was able to even overpower the Shadow Empire warlord and easily able to take him down. He said that next time he won't show any mercy to you or any of the other Shadow Empire warlords with such disrespect. The Shadow Empire warlord quickly said yes, of course, he won't exactly do that again, ever again. Red Bolt began to placing his dagger right here at the throne, placing his dagger and his swords right here at the chair throne. He began sitting at the throne of the Shadow Empire, stating that now he is now the new Lord of Magic. One Shadow Empire warlord came rushing in quickly, telling him that there's a new Lord of Magic in his new ancient secret society that's about to disrupt your plans and your mission. Red Bull stated that is quietly not irrelevant to him anymore, because now he is now the new master and the new leader of the Shadow Empire. He's now who will lead the Shadow Empire warlord. He told the other Shadow Empire warlords to come here and pledge their loyalty and allegiance to him, all the other Shadow Empire warlords, which is exactly what they did. They all pledged their allegiance and their loyalty to Red Bolt and exactly said that they would exactly help him. Red Bolt told him that it's time to launch a full-scale invasion on the Intergalactic Coalition and to defeat them once and for all and to end the Universal Heroes once and for all. These heroes are quietly too much of a problem and they're too much of a threat to his mission and to his long-term plans. They have to be wiped out. The Shadow Empire warlords and all the commanders agreed. The Shadow Empire warlords and commanders launched a fleet of warships and battle cruisers within space, headed straightly to Intergalactic Coalition's Central Command in order to fight them. The Intergalactic Coalition was one of the armada of warships and battle cruisers was headed straightly to the Central Command and as well as their headquarters. They tried to inform Universal Man and the Universal Heroes, who quietly disappeared for 12 months. Quietly disappeared for 12 months and quietly vanished for 12 months, but they couldn't exactly get a hold of him. But they were able to get a hold of Lytris, who was the leader of the Universal Defending Heroes, and told them that there's a fleet of warships and battle cruisers headed straight for the Intergalactic Coalition's headquarters, telling them that they need to exactly defend themselves and protect themselves. Lytris told them the Intergalactic Coalition needs to launch its fleets and warships or battle cruisers as soon as possible because they're on the way in order to assist. The war waged out from two sides as the dark magic users of the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful launched their magical beings, launched their magical powers, released their magical powers and their abilities against the inhabitable aliens, all the inhabitable aliens and all the members of the Intergalactic Coalition on the planet. The Intergalactic Coalition and all the members fought with everything else they had with their blades and daggers and weapons, which they exactly launched by decimating some of the other dark magic users, known as the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches within the battle. The battle cruisers and all the other fleets were all decimated within the sky, quietly able to be sabotaged from the ground, falling from the sky, creating nothing but destruction and terror from outer space. The battle waged on for months and for months as a decimation launched from the ground and also to the atmosphere. Lytris came in time through hyperdrive, telling her members of her team of the Universal Defending Heroes to focus the attack on the ground, and while she focused her attack on the upper atmosphere, beginning launching the attack and stopping the Undershed Empire warlords from destroying the Intergalactic Coalition, which they were successfully able to do. Lytris was able to teleport herself straight to the warship Central Command and asking the Shed Empire warlord and commander who exactly orchestrated all this attack in order to exactly happen. Or he said that it was Red Bolt. It was literally Red Bolt, by the way. He was so terrified. And he said that it was completely Red Bolt himself, meaning that it was Red Bolt. Lytris was also quietly stoked and shocked with the way he saw the terror and eyes of the Shed Empire warlords and decided to take him into custody. All the fleets were quietly decimated from the sky. Too many forces suffered enormous amounts of casualties from both sides, as in the battle and the war lasted for 2 months, but was able to be stopped within that time, was able to be stopped within that duration of the time. But they were able to take some of the other Empire world and other commanders into custody, straight into custody, able to exactly ask them questions about who's Red Bolt and who the hell is he. Lytris said that he's never heard a name such as Red Bolt or any one of them. They should exactly inform Newborn or Werewolf or Wolfbat or Firebird or War Boy or Planet Boy or Time Boy, any of the members of the Universal Heroes, to tell them that there's a new growing threat rising from the sacred universe and that's willing to take control. Looks like Kevin stated that the Shadow Empire is now literally under someone else's control, with the new Lunar Magic still standing to seize the throne for himself, waging war with all the other worlds and other planets, meaning that this war has become a sacred galactic war, and it's not just any war for money or for anything. It's for sacred galactic powers and for control. And Lytris stated that this is just the beginning of everything. One Shadow Empire warlord messenger came straight to the throne room on the 8th of March, stating that the attack was quietly a failure, as he said to Master Bolt, saying that the attack was quietly a failure, and the Universal Defending Heroes were able to win the battle on everything else. Red Bolt stated that the attack was just exactly the way it had to go, and the way that exactly was planned. Red Bolt removed himself from the throne and took his dagger and his sword, saying that he will deal with this matter by himself, and he will take care of this matter and this problem by himself. He took one warship along with him, and he went straightly to the Intergalactic Coalition's headquarters, into the asteroid base, and teleported himself there and fought with the members and with the leaders and managed to exactly neutralize them. He gave them crystal chips of technology to place them under his control, which he put them here straight to his neck and placed them under his control, stating that now the entire formation, the entire Intergalactic Coalition Council is under his sole dominance and under his sole control. Stated now it's time to wipe out the Universal Defending Heroes and to get rid of them as soon as possible. It's time for lethal force. The Four-Nation Hunter Council and the Intergalactic Coalition Council was under the dominational control of Red Bolt's mind control, but under the mind control influence were under the influence of Red Bolt and they were ordered to kill and wipe out the Universal Defending Heroes. The Universal Defending Heroes took measures in order to neutralize this threat. They were able to cure attack them with the cure with the crystal tech chip, able to neutralize them for the effect able to neutralize them from the effect of the crystal chip with the cure tech that was quietly given to them. By doing so, they were able to exactly confront Red Bolt head on straight at the asteroid base of the Intergalactic Coalition. Blatches began to ask the question exactly, who the hell are you? Red Bolt stated that he's his worst enemy and he's his worst powerful enemy, and an enemy to the Universal Heroes, and an enemy to the World Heroes, and to the United Heroes, and to the Intergalactic Coalition. The Shadow Empire is now under my sole control, as he stated, and I'm more powerful than ever. You can call me the Dark Order, as he said to Lytris. The Dark Druid opened up a portal and teleported him away. Lytris said that the Dark Order is the one behind all this madness and the other one behind all this event. They have to be taken out of effective immediately. They cause too much threat and too much problem. Kevin said that Lord Bolt now is known that knows that we are onto him, and that we have to inform Firebird and the rest of the other members of the Universal Heroes and tell them this threat is growing more faster than the new world of magic and his new ancient secret society that is still ruling in secrecy in the shadows of the sacred world and still planning to conquer worlds and wipe out the supernaturals, meaning that they're fighting too many enemies on both sides and on both fronts, so they have to neutralize this threat and purposely remove it out of the way. Red Bolt is growing too powerful. Red Bolt hold a video conference with the members of the Dark Order and congratulated the Shadow Empire Warlord on the fifth of April with these tactics and with these planning, said that he made the right decision. He made the right decision in placing some of the other planets and worlds under your control, even if the new Order Magic and his new secret society are still ruling within the shadows. Half of the Shadow Empire power and in the throne of it belongs to him and the Dark Order. Said that now you are completely an associate, a completely good associate. The Shadow Empire was quietly pleased and very quietly. The Shadow Empire Warlord was quietly pleased and very quietly happy. Completely debauchably happy. The Shadow Empire Warlord summoned the members of the Dark Order, stated that he welcomed the new Dark Seeker to the group, saying that this is his protege and as well as his successor to his cause and to his organization. He succeeded in all the missions and everything else in neutralizing the Universal Earth Heroes and with their goals and with their plans, then it could never exactly be done without his work or any of his effectiveness. Red Bolt stated that he is welcome to the Dark Order. We welcome him to the Dark Order and to everything else. He is welcome to the ranks of the Dark Order, and he's officially one of them now. And not exactly letting him on deeper with these plans. The Dark Order held out an audience with Ghostmaster, who's a former enforcer of the founders, the Order of the Five, who's a former enforcer of the Shadow Empire Warlords, and also the Order the Order of the Five as well, and a former member of the Order of Darkness, which is a sacred terrorist organization of assassins. Ghostmaster demanded that he gets what is due to him, as he served the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders for many centuries and for many years, and becoming the intergalactic enforcer as well as the assistant. Red Bolt stated that what could he exactly give to your offer? One Shadow Empire warlord and commander stated that we've given him too much power and too much glory and everything else he ever needed. His services are hereby no longer required. Ghostmaster stated that if he can't exactly get what he wants, then he will have to kill him. Then he will have to kill to get what he wants. He launched a bullet against Red Bolt, but the bullet was quickly stopped and prevented by Death Girl, who is a new enforcer. Who's a new enforcer of the Dark Order, stated that this is exactly his replacement. A new assassin known as Death Girl. He was quietly pleased and very quietly and remarkably pleased with this result, so that in due time he will exactly get what he is. But the other Shadow Empire warlords will see my potential. Red Bull stated that this relationship that we have between us is now strictly over, because your services are hereby no longer required. Ghostmaster quietly destroyed the base when he destroyed the base after his audience with the members of the Dark Order, and was able to fly away through a spaceship after Fire Dragon pulled him out of the central headquarters of the Shadow Empire, and after that he left. Despite that leaving, Red Bolt continued to meet up with Blacksport, who is an associate of the Shadow Empire warlords, and as well as the commanders stated that his services are quietly appreciated, then everything else will be quietly, very much quietly to be appreciated and quietly, exonerantly to be happy with your tactics and with your plan. Black Sports stated that he'll continue supplying the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders with more technology and with more power, giving them more power and more accuracy as part of their deal, as they quietly shook hands together. Red Bolt even went straight into the food drink supply in order to meet up with Mr. Fox, stating that the business is quietly left untouched and everything else was quietly the same as the Universal Earth Hero team. They couldn't exactly take anything or damage anything within the process, and everything else is exactly the way it was, and it will also remain in the way it was, saying that the world and humanity and now will be placed under their control. Red Bolt stated that the tactic was quietly good and very, very quietly pleasable, very, very quietly pleasable, very, very quietly happy. Red Bolt was able to watch the battle from outer space through his monitors, through at the throne room, of the central command of the Shadow Empire of the central command of the headquarters of the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, able to exactly watch the war going on as Magic Man was defending the solar system from a powerful dark intergalactic bounty, from a powerful dark intergalactic gladiator known as Owen Darkest, who is a descender of the Darkest family, and was quietly pleased by Owen Darkness's work and his effectiveness. He began to reconvene with the members of the Dark Order on the 5th of June, at the throne room of the central headquarters of the central command headquarters of the Shadow Empire, stating that their plan worked brilliantly because now the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders are completely loyal and abandoned in obedience to them and also to their organization and as well to their secret society. James and Tyler were quietly pleased, stating that everything else is falling according to plan the way it's supposed to be, literally, and Death Girl was quietly present with them, saying that the plan is quietly going the way it's supposed to be, and she became a member of the Dark Order as she rose in through the ranks. She became a member of the Dark Order, saying that you've become quietly, you've risen through the ranks, and you've quietly proven your effectiveness and your goal to the organization and as well to his plans and to his interests. Saying that their plans are quietly bigger and quietly, very much quietly greater. That his ultimate goal is still quietly going on and it's still about to be getting more. The war is about to get more nastier and about to get more darker than ever it has ever been. Tyler exactly said that he's quietly pleased with everything else and with all the events taking place. Midnight was a success that the Universal Earth Heroes were able to stop the attack or its effectiveness, meaning that the Dark Order has now controlled the galaxy and the rest of Sacred Existence. Red Ball stated that the rest of Sacred Existence are exactly under their sole control. Not even quietly close, or not even quietly close, or not even quietly once, not even completely quietly closed. The only thing that is standing in the way of their goal is Lord Justin, the Dark Witch Eve, Ember, the goddess of power, the Witch of power, and also the Order of the Six and the Hive Brothers and the Universal Heroes and Dark Master and Lord Shadow Jack and Lord Ra and the Sacred Circle. They are the only thing that are standing in the way for my ultimate goal, which he will exactly achieve by any means necessary. After the Shadow Empire Warlords commanders fought against each other for the throne and still continued to battle each other, and the Intergalactic Coalition and half of the Universal Earth Heroes were able to intercept them and take some of them into custody and sending them straight into the Astral Prison and to the Sacred Prison to remain into custody. One other of the Shadow Empire warlords were able to meet up with Red Bull at the throne room at the 13th of June, stating that the plan exactly worked well the way it was supposed to be, and everything else fold accordingly under everything else. The Shadow Empire is fully under your sole control now, meaning that the Order of Secrets can't do anything else now without the chaos of the war that is completely working in their favor. Red Bull said that the Order of Secrets won't pose any threat to his plans, to his long-term plans that he has. He has a long-term plan for the rest of Sacred Existence and for the Four Nation Hunters and for the war that's about to come, meaning that he has a sinister plan and an ultimate goal that's already quietly prepped and ready to go. All that matters, all that needs to happen is to recruit more members and is to get more resources. Once more resources have been aided, he'll be more powerful than ever. And with the Shadow Empire under his sole control, he is now the new leader of the Shadow Empire, and all the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders have pledged their allegiance and their loyalty to Red Bolt. Guys, they pledged their allegiance and loyalty to Red Bolt, meaning completely. Despite this, guys, Red Bolt was trained by Shadow Master in the early years and his early life. He was trained in hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship, master tactician, strategist, hand-to-hand combat, marksmanship, agility, endurance, first aid, swordsmanship, stealth, stealth and invisibility. He's quietly adaptable in stealth and also in disappearing, creating small screen for us to cover up his disappearance and all of that. He's very, very smart and very, very intelligent and a very, very powerful super strategist and a villain and also an assassin. He left the Order of the Five in the early years when he tried to assassinate the Lord of Magic, and he quietly valued and respected the original Lord of Magic at that time. But after his passing, he was quietly pleased that his plans can now take hold of everything else. He took sole control of the Shadow Empire, knowing very full well that there was another new Lord of Magic, in the shadows, and his new secret society in the shadows that are quietly still willing to still intending to take control of the Shadow Empire. And yet he gladly sat on the Shadow Empire's throne, and he exactly took command of the Shadow Empire, and some of the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders placed their allegiance and their loyalty to Red Bolt, and they were quietly pleased. Red Bolt became more powerful and more deadly. He hates and despises the universal heroes. He's very manipulative, very destructive, and very, very deceptive. He hates and despises the universal heroes. In fact, he views them as a threat. He views them as an obstacle and as a threat to his long-term plans, as it disrupted his plans for long enough. And he quietly learns that he cannot underestimate the universal heroes and the universal space heroes and the universal earth heroes, all the universal defenders and the united heroes and the world heroes, and the intergalactic coalition. He very well quietly learns that he cannot underestimate the abilities, as they kept on outsmarting him and kept on outsmarting him, outmatching him in some occasions, in some other battles, and they cannot exactly be taken serious. He's a founder and leader of his ancient secret society known as the Dark Order. The Dark Order has a goal to controlling planet Earth and humanity and the known universe and the sacred universe and the sacred world and the golden universe, the Mixel universe, the robotics, the star, the over universe, the star, the over universe, and the sacred universe, and the robotics as well. All these other universes in all these worlds and all these planets will be solely placed under the control of the Dark Order by its leader known as Red Bolt. Red Bolt is very aggressive in battle, very, very quietly excited to battle and fight, skillful in swordsmanship, not to be underestimated. Unlike Ghostmaster, he's very ambitious, as in literally very, very ambitious. His ambition is a reason that he has survived for so long and for so many, many years. He left the Order of the Five to form his own organization in his own ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Dark Order, in order to further his goals and his plans and his ultimate goals and his plans, despite his schemes and his attempt to conquer and control humanity, which they have failed over the past few years during the time when the original Lord of Magic was in power. He learned that he cannot exactly upset the sacred delicate balance, but despite this, he will fight against Universal Man and the Universal Heroes, and he will exactly stop them, and he will exactly do whatever it takes to wipe them out and remove them out of his way, because he views them as a threat and an obstacle to his goal and also to his ultimate goal and to his plan. He even forms an alliances with powerful criminals such as Tyler, the Nocturne Knights, James, the Dark Druids, and the Dark Witches, in order for them to utilize their resources for his ultimate goals and for his ultimate plan, which has been exactly been able to do, to maintaining surveillance on his enemies, and also to maintaining surveillance on his enemies, manipulating enemies and allies into his ultimate schemes, into his goals, in order to manipulate events. He also manipulates events and orchestrates events in order for them to work in their favor, such as manipulating the Shadow Empire's conflict to his advantage in order to control the Shadow Empire, and using the Shadow Empire's plans and his goals for his own sinister plans and as well for his goals. Despite this, he believes that humanity is a worthy species and a most powerful species that deserves to become the most powerful predators in the known universe, not in the sacred world and not in the sacred universe. He believes that he is destined to rule the sacred universe and the sacred world, and he will wipe out the Four-Nation Hunter and the New Alliance and the Universal Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition. He tried so many times in wiping them out and removing them out of the way, meaning literally tried so many times, but he failed. but he learns from his failures not to underestimate Firebird, not to underestimate Firebird's team and Warboy and Time Boy and Universal Man, Hank Starwood, Sam Starwood, and Marvel Smith Starwood, Ivy Ferris Hellfire, Universal Girl and Universal Warrior, Origin Boy and Universal Boy, not to underestimate these heroes or the Light Hunters or Lightress and her Universal Defending Heroes or the Universal Space Heroes, not to underestimate them and never to ever take them lightly ever again. That is quietly he's been learning, and he's a fast super learner. He's intelligent, possesses raw intellect and raw intelligence, and never to be underestimated. Lytris, according to Lytris's database, Red Bolt is the most powerful, ultimate, powerful villain who's been exactly been fighting, the Four Nation Hunters have been exactly been fighting against him for many centuries, as well as some of the other Shadow Empire warlords who exactly been taking him lightly and not to be exactly to be taken lightly. He's the most powerful, vicious enemy, and not to exactly to be underestimated or by anyone or by any hero or any rogue hero or any rogue member of the Intergalactic Coalition. Despite this, Red Bolt is part hunter himself. He has the ability of a hunter. He has the ability of agility, endurance, and marksmanship. He's smart, tactical, and as well manipulative and deceptive. He trains an army of assassins of his own in order for them to exactly lead his empire, in order for them to lead his own empire. He builds his own empire. He builds and creates his own empire within the Shadow Empire in order to become the most powerful, formidable, dominant empire in the entire sacred universe and in the rest of sacred existence. The rest of the other Shadow Empire warlords commanders fear Red Bolt, and they quietly learn from the hard way not to underestimate him or take him lightly. He's smart and very quietly intelligent, and possesses raw intellect. He's a founder and a leader of the Dark Order, an ancient secret society with the goal that is intending of controlling planet Earth, humanity, the sacred world, the sacred universe, the golden universe, star universe, robotic universe, Mixel universe, over universe, sacred universe, all those other universes and all those other worlds and planet. He's very ambitious, not to be underestimated. He is the ultimate foe and ultimate enemy that the Alliance, the newly Alliance, and the new Universal Heroes and the new Universal Earth Heroes have ever come against. They have learned that they can't take him lightly. They cannot underestimate him or take him lightly. So, guys, I all hope you enjoyed this episode about Red Bolt, who is a founder and a leader, of the Dark Order. And I all hope you have a wonderful weekend and a very blessed weekend. Stay safe and stay warm, and please wear warm because this weather is literally not promising. It's cold and hot 1 minute, so try to stay warm and stay safe and stay happy. See you next week Monday. Yeah. See you next week Monday. Bye. Bye.